Lord Voldemort rarely gets things wrong. As a matter of fact, he was so successful in his endeavours due to how right he was about most things. Now, I made a video a short time ago highlighting a couple of key things he got right, but today we're going to do the complete opposite and take a look at some of the things that the Dark Lord got badly wrong. So wrong that the result of his misjudgment ended up seeing him destroyed. Voldemort never actually believed he was mistaken in anything, so when he does get it wrong, you can bet it's going to be highlighted, especially when we've counted at least 5 of them. Now, there was actually more than 5 things he got wrong, but I'm enjoying these 5 things videos, so let's keep them going and kick it off with number 5. How Horcrux magic works. There's so much surrounding what Voldemort achieved by creating Horcruxes that we actually don't focus on the devastating effects it had on him and how he failed to understand all aspects of how dark this magic truly was. Yes, it made him immortal, but the Dark Lord had no idea what kind of immortality that was. Did it just stop him aging, or did it protect him against devastating spells, injuries? Did he rapidly heal, for example? We just don't know, and neither did he. Okay, we know he stopped aging, but for starters, his physical appearance was so distorted that he wasn't even recognizable from the man that once went by the name of Tom Marvolo Riddle. When he got hit by the killing curse, it destroyed his body and left him in a ghost-like state, a spirit-like entity. Most people would rather death. The Horcrux only allowed Voldemort to retain his connection to the world of the living through his split soul, and not by any means physically. Did he know that? I don't think so. He had all but given up on ever returning to his body after 13 years of failure, only for Wormtail to come out of hiding and crucially assist him. His multiple Horcruxes left him so unstable that it possibly weakened his connection to magic in general, which is theorized as a reason as to why the Elder Wand failed him. It's true that he pushed the boundaries of magic further than any before him, but it came at a huge cost. He charted into unknown territory, regardless of the risk, and ended up spending eternity in limbo as a fractured piece of his former self. The worst part is he knew what was in store for him if he failed, but the Dark Lord chose to lead with his arrogance of believing he was undefeatable. Number 4. Dismissing Tom Riddle. Yes, you've read that correctly. Dismissing his former self was a huge, absolutely massive mistake, and here's why. Tom Riddle made Voldemort who he was. Yes, I know they were the same person physically, but were they really the same person? I don't think so. Before he achieved such a great power, Tom Riddle was a master manipulator. He thrived on playing a role in order to get what he wanted from certain individuals. He had the whole school convinced he was an academic marvel with the highest of morals. Academic marvel was correct, yeah, we'll give him that, but morals he certainly had none. Only Dumbledore could see him for what he truly was, and even then could never find the evidence to convict Tom of any wrongdoing. As Tom gained more power and transitioned into Lord Voldemort, he didn't feel the need to convince people to do the things he wanted them to do. He didn't feel the need to ask for anything or to use his charm, which is what made his charisma so effective. Don't forget that there was once a time where Voldemort rallied for change and gained his followers through his promise to make a difference. The whole join us or die thread, it didn't exist at the beginning. People actually wanted to fight for him. It was only when he became extremely powerful and immortal that Voldemort realized that he didn't care about his followers' respect or anyone's respect in general. Nobody could defeat him or overpower him, and he instilled so much fear in everyone that he got used to not being told no. While this was effective, he lost the devotion and the loyalty of key followers like Lucius Malfoy, Narcissa Malfoy, and even Severus Snape after his abrasive actions towards the people they cared about. Dismissing his former self ended up distancing himself from his former humanity, which ultimately cost him dearly. Number 3. Believing he was the true master of the Elder Wand. When he realized that he could not defeat Harry due to the fact that their wands shared the same core, Voldemort decided to seek out the only wand that could guarantee him victory, the much sought after Elder Wand, one of the 3 Deathly Hallows. Now, after quickly discovering that Dumbledore was the master of the Elder Wand, Voldemort always believed that the wand's allegiance could only change through death, meaning that even though Draco had disarmed Dumbledore, Snape was still the true master, as he he made the kill. It once again shows Voldemort's lack of research on magic that he didn't understand, because it never truly interested him. He didn't care about that kind of magic. He wrongly believed the wand was loyal to him as he forced his magic through it against the wand's will. Voldemort felt every single second of its resistance, but he put it down to the wand's overall power. He failed to actually stop and recognize that something was off, believing his own power to be enough to defeat Harry Potter. He used the wand to attempt to kill Harry, but with Harry being the true master, it rebounded on the Dark Lord once again. Learn your lesson, Voldemort, seriously, and it killed him instead. Another situation where the Dark Lord's arrogance did not allow him to think things through. Number 2. He let the prophecy affect him far more than it should have. Let's just take a look at the point of the prophecy for a moment. The prophecy was the universe's way of combating Voldemort's unnatural and basically unsanctioned rise to power. He violated nature to become immortal and immersed himself so deep in dark magic that he became the biggest threat to the status quo of the wizarding world. That is essentially why Harry Potter was deemed the chosen one. There wasn't anyone who could match the Dark Lord, so one was born. This infuriated Voldemort, that something like this could happen and threaten his position. However, he was also well aware that if he killed the chosen one, then nothing could ever stop him again. The point of the prophecy was to challenge the Dark Lord, but it never said that Harry would 100% win. It wasn't guaranteed. It just stated that he had the power to vanquish him, not that he would vanquish him. Neither could live while the other survives is the proof needed to understand that Voldemort could actually still be victorious. He became obsessed with finding it, planting visions in Harry's head, and when Lucius failed to retrieve it, it sent Voldemort over a violent edge, as now he would never know the prophecy in full, which could have helped him avoid repeating what happened that night in Godric's Hollow. Number 1. Allowing Horus Sloghorn to remain alive. Tom Riddle and Horus Sloghorn shared a special relationship for different reasons. On one side of the coin we have Potions Master and well-respected Professor Horus Sloghorn, who loved finding gems in his classes, gems as in bright students whose talents really shone through. Students who would go on to create very successful careers for themselves in various working sectors, and who would also grace the professor with gifts or special privileges after they had graduated. One such student who Professor Sloghorn took a liking to was Tom Marvolo Riddle, who excelled at every single subject he touched, potions being one of them. Horus loved Tom's thirst for knowledge, much like his own, and regularly had conversations with him about how to get the most out of different aspects of magic. Tom, on the other hand, being a closeted psychopathic murderer, used his relationship with the professor to his advantage, and one such conversation led to the discussion of how to create a Horcrux, which horrified Slughorn. However, he instructed Tom on the procedure, confirming that murder is the only way to split the soul and therefore be able to store it in another object to achieve immortality. Slughorn says he didn't know what Tom would do with that knowledge, but deep down, he did. It shamed him so much that he actually altered the memory, as he couldn't deal with the fact that he helped Voldemort achieve a power that no other had. Tom also knew that Slughorn was the only one he spoke to about creating a Horcrux, which in turn allowed Dumbledore to figure out that they had regular conversations and that the professor told him something crucial. Slughorn was a loose end and the Dark Lord overlooked him, never tied it up, and in the end allowed Harry and Dumbledore to gain the knowledge to actually defeat him. There you have it, everyone. 5 massive mistakes Voldemort made over the course of his life that ultimately cost him dearly. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like to add to the list in the comment section below. If the comment section is turned off, it's not me. YouTube keeps automatically turning off my comment section for some reason, and I can't figure out why. I've contacted them several times and it's just one of those silly answers where they give me a clickable and figure out this and figure out that by checking out this section. I'll just turn them back on. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit that like button, as it lets YouTube know you're enjoying my content, and hit that subscribe button if you want to join the channel's family here. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all very soon.